Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the African Independent Television, AIT, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. On this program and on this channel, we'll give you that information you need to keep your life safe and secure. And wherever the news is, once it has to do with security, we'll bring it to you. Welcome to the program today. Today, we'll be looking at a very important topic. When we talked about this topic, a lot of people say, yes, it's actually timely, talking about enhancing cordial civil-military relationships in Nigeria. And already we have our two eminent guests, knowledgeable guests in the studio. But I want to note that it's quite troubling. And some people said, yes, people must pay attention to what is happening recently. The killing, the sad killing, the unexplainable killing of 16 army officers who were on a peace mission is quite sad. One lieutenant colonel, two majors, two captains, one sergeant, one corporal, 5 lance corporals, and 5 privates. These are Nigerians who has family members, wives, children, parents, and siblings, where they were killed by their fellow Nigerians. It's so sad. I don't think the nation should just overlook it. We must look at it so that we will not keep on repeating the same issue. Similar thing happened in 1999 during the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, in Odi in Bayelsa State, this time in Okwama, Delta State. But before this, 19 police officers were also killed in Delta State. And it seems that the nation just don't care that officers, security personnel that were trained with our scarce resources are being killed unwantonly, not for any cause of theirs, not that they were fighting war, but they went for peace mission. And let's hear what the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, said in 2001 when he was interviewed on what happened in 1999. Let's hear what he said then.
The whole village was wiped out.
Of course, if I have soldiers and police who are the instrument by which I should maintain security, and I send police and they were killed, and I send soldiers and they were killed, what do you expect me to do? If you were in my position, what will you do? You will fold your arms? You answer me, my dear brother.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Where the whole village was wiped out.
Of course, if you are.
Vintage President Olusegun Obasanjo there. And a lot of people have said a lot of things concerning that remark and his comment. But when you look at it seriously, as a commander-in-chief, there is need to take some serious actions when officers are sent and being killed that way. It's so sad. Again, just 2 days ago, the Defense Headquarters released some names and pictures, 97 of wanted terrorists, bandits, insurgents, and kidnappers and secessionist agitators. They've been declared wanted at a bounty of 5 million naira on each of them. Anybody who has information of how they can. I can remember how the previous Boko Haram wanted list, it helped a lot because out of the 100 that was initially declared wanted, I can tell you that 91 was actually identified and they were arrested or eliminated while fighting. So I think Nigerians and all over those who love peace must make good use of this opportunity so that we can clean our country of all these unwanted killings happening across the geopolitical zones of the country. Yes, again, let me use this opportunity to congratulate my friend, my brother, Commodore Augustine Adams Aliyu. He was just appointed. He has actually took over office yesterday as the new Director of Naval Information, the new DINFO, the new man in town, and he's come with a track record. And of course, he's also a son of a former editor of Daily Times newspapers, so he's on a familiar ground. So you're welcome, and we wish you all the best in your new assignment. Yes, let's come to the studio now where we're going to commence our discussions, but that will be after this intro put together by Shuli Daniels.
The number one cardinal responsibility of government is security, welfare, and well-being of its citizens. Over the years, there have been obvious disconnects between governments in Nigeria and the people, and this has led to mistrust and apathy from the public to government policies and programs, and even institutions of government. With the involvement of the Armed Forces of Nigeria (AFN) in internal security operations due to lapses by the civil police. The AFN, and particularly the Nigerian Army, has found itself interacting with the public on a daily basis. For success in its operations nationwide, the Nigerian Army has worked out programs to win the hearts and minds of the people by sacrificially giving back to the society through provisions of infrastructure, medical outreaches, educational aids, and provision of relief materials to displaced persons or times of emergency. They even help to clean up communities. In spite of all this, some sections of the society still provide cover and aid to criminal gangs. In this episode of Security Watch Africa, with the topic Enhancing Cordial Civil-Military Relationships, we seek answers from our guests on whose role it is to get the people to support the Nigerian Army.
Welcome. Yes, we'll commence immediately with our guests, and I will start from my far left. Sometimes I find it difficult on how to describe it because it's a simple man wants to say just simply Suleiman Gaya. I want to call him a doctor because he has merited that. He's also a malam, he's also an allergy, but simply Suleiman Obagaya. He was a former national deputy president of Nigerian Guild of Editors, and he's the chief executive and chairman, Sky Limit Media Group, and so many other organizations that he oversees. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio once again.
My pleasure to
welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, also seated close to me here is a new friend I just found today, but our initial interaction has shown that there is a man that is very, very knowledgeable. Talking about Dr. Micah. He's a lecturer with Federal University, Lokoja. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yes, maybe I should start with you first, as the man in the middle now. In few words, how will you describe the incident of the killing of these soldiers? Because I know we can't go with this discussion without you saying something about it.
Okay, the military's insurgency, and it's rather unfortunate what happened. What really happened could have been avoided, but be that it may, it's rather unfortunate, and we pray we don't see a repeat of such in this country again.
Okay. Yeah. To you, what would you say?
Well, it represented one of the darkest days in Nigeria's history to have personnel of the Nigerian Armed Forces, or particularly Nigerian Army, being killed as callously as those ones were killed. It represented evil at its deepest hue. And I want to condole with Nigerians, with President Tinubu, with the Chief of Defense Staff, Minister of Defense, the entire hierarchy, Chief of Army Staff, and the entire security structure, including also the National Security Advisor, for these brutal killings of the innocent military personnel. It's a very sad day for Nigeria, and we pray it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it's quite sad because I remember my meeting. I met the Lieutenant Colonel Ali twice where he was a major in Northeast, and very useful hand there that helped to ensure that Nigeria is secure. But sadly, we have lost him. And somebody say, why Ali? The other time we lost Colonel Ali also. Another Lieutenant Colonel Ali. But that is life. And just like you said, in the military, it's part of the serving the nation, but we shouldn't allow it to be happening. Mm-hmm. Yes, again, one of the things we showed is the defense headquarters advertising the 97 persons there that had caused trouble in this country in different zones of the country. Would you say it's a right step?
Yeah, I think this is the right time. There's no any other better time than now. And what I expect is let's be very holistic about the intention. Because probably people felt you could just take Nigerian for a ride and nothing happened. And that is why abating this barbaric behaviors and attitude from people hasn't stopped. But I think the government should match it with action, regardless whose fault it's gone. Because this is not time for sentiment, regardless who is involved. I think the military, the law of the land should take its course. We're tired. And you see, if you look at the irony of this attitude, is just unfortunate. Because you don't just sit down. You wake up, you cannot even ascertain, I'm going out to come back safe. Nigerian is not at war. Nigerian is not at war. So citizens should feel free. The security agents who are also working hard to ensure the unity of this country should also have a sense of relief. We're not at war. So I do not think, and I think let this be the first time that government should match its word with action and keep sentiment aside, regardless of who is involved, whether directly or indirectly.
Okay. Now let me come to you. You are all true and true a civilian. And but why do you think that Nigerians are not too, how will I say, don't have so much confidence in our security institutions?
Well, that is unfortunate. I happen to be the only media personnel in Nigeria that was invited to the meeting of the Global Coalition to defeat ISIS in 2012 in Morocco, in 2013 in Saudi Arabia. And there it was clearly defined that globally the standard is going to be in terms of intelligence gathering. The public has 60% responsibility, while the intelligence core or the intelligence community has 40% responsibility. What that translates to is that we as citizens, as civilians, whether we are in uniform or not, we have a bigger responsibility to help the security services, to get it right in terms of their investigation or in terms of their ability to tame criminals. And that is a role that is our responsibility. And these people are not doing this job for themselves. They are doing it for our own security, for our own safety. Unless we upscale the way we go about it now, the nonchalant attitude from a lot of Nigerians, I do not see how the security services will give us what we deserve. So we have a bigger responsibility. The nonchalance attitude has to change. Everybody must wake up, unless, of course, we don't want them to get it right. And when they don't get it right, it means...
It also affects us.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, because it's like a circle.
Exactly.
If you don't support them to do that, we also the people who suffers it
Exactly.
more.
Exactly.
But from you, why do you, because you're wearing the same ordinary shirt I'm wearing, why do you think that the average Nigerians would prefer to fraternize and support even the criminals who are oppressing them than security service or the government?
You see, if you look at this, I do not think a right, sensible man in his own sense should think fraternizing with somebody who has come to harm you will be the best. Come on, you should think of somebody who is there to protect, somebody who is there to make sure everything goes well, somebody who is there to ensure you go to bed and sleep without discomfort, somebody who is updoing, standing for you to have all you deserve. So fraternizing with somebody who just come on whatever guise, and I don't think that should be the best thing. The best thing is that we should, as a matter of fact, even expose, and if you even have a hint of these are a notion where a gossip that something negative is about to happen, not even to somebody you know, even somebody you don't know. You should be at the vanguard of exposing them. So for me, people driving pleasure or want to fraternize with people for whatever reason, I don't think is the best. Our best friends, our circle should be on the men of the security agent, regardless whether the DSS, the police, the civil defense, member of the armed forces, and other secret security agents. In short, even the vigilante in our neighborhood, we should have more trust in them. We should believe in them. And we should be willing at every point in time to provide them with intelligence because there are some things that happen around that probably you feel because of your deficiency or at the disadvantage of where you stand, but you can always relate this to people who will be on the forefront of tackling this issue. So the best bet is giving out intelligence to the people that need this intelligence. It's all for our own common good and for the safety and the unity of the country.
Some people, school of thought, believe that poverty, hunger fuels people that to support criminals who are there to give them one kind of palliative or to even keep quiet or to get involved in criminal activities. But we know some society where they are not even as buoyant as some Nigerian society, but yet the citizens would rather die than go into crimes or aid criminals. Why is it so?
What that bespeaks is the holistic need for institutions of government, like the National Orientation Agency, to upscale its activities, its statutory responsibility of enlightening Nigerians. Like you rightly said, it's not just about poverty. Right. There are ex-countries that have been experiencing deeper poverty, but whose citizens are cooperating wholly with the security services. So poverty cannot be an excuse, because these people will not distinguish between the rich and the poor when they come to launch their attacks. So what it means is that being poor does not insulate you from their attacks. And secondly, those of them that serve as informants, what is their fate? Look at what happens to most informants. They get killed by the same element that hired them to betray the society. So that also means being an informant to criminal elements is not something that is doable. It has deadly repercussions.
I'll remain with you before I come to Doctor here. You mentioned the National Orientation Agency. Yeah. Don't you think this agency should wake up and help to sensitize and encourage Nigerians in this their role?
Yes, I tried to find out, that was even before the current DG, I tried to find out why they have not been up and doing in terms of execution of their statutory responsibility. And I was made to understand that the issue had a lot to do with funding, that their funding has not been very impressive. But then for me, that cannot be adequate reason, because we are there to make a representation to the government, even to the National Assembly. Why don't you go to the National Assembly, tell them, or tell the Minister of Information as DG that, sir, please, my budget is inadequate. And in any case, the Ministry of Information and the National Assembly will always give them inadequate budget until they start presenting excellent programs. When you have programs that are beautiful, I am telling you, your employer will be in a rush to give you the funds to execute them. Yeah. But when you are laid back, expecting manna from heaven, it won't come.
Yeah, because no partnership. They should partner with some people, some organizations to help
Exactly.
do these things.
You know, this thing about PPP is being done everywhere. It's not just
Everywhere.
our project. Policies also can be can benefit from PPP. You know.
Yeah,
Yes.
because today we expect the military to do PR and all that when we have agencies, Ministry of Information, National Orientation Agency, that's supposed to help. In those days, I remember that the National Orientation Agency was very, very vibrant when we had only NTA, churning out frequent jingles and talking about
And you remember the good old days of MAMSA also.
MAMSA, exactly.
We
used
were
to have
being enlightened left, right, and center. You
got
know,
pamphlets
they never
and
allowed
all that.
ignorance to thrive.
Exactly. But let me come to you, sir. Communities, especially in the northwest and northwest, we see that some of these youths do business with these bandits. In the southeast, you know, sometimes when they see even these people who are oppressing them, they hail them that they are heroes. Are they not emboldening these people in this regard?
Okay, just like my co-guest said, you see, there is no amount of evil that when you support, it will always come back to you negatively. So whatever reasons, whether for monetary gain, it will always come back negative to you. Because these same people, there's a distrust in the first instance. Now this same distrust will now turn back. Because should anything go wrong, because right from the onset, the foundation was faulty. So they will still come back to say it is even the same you persons that they
sold them
thought
out.
they were using are the same people who are also going out to give out intelligence about their operation. So I think the best thing is we shouldn't even condone it in the first instance. We shouldn't even condone it. We should preach to our communities. We should preach to our locals. And then we should also enlighten ourselves. As I am now, you see, regardless of even the level of education, but I think there's a moral obligation that we all own ourselves. What is the moral obligation is we own ourselves that integrity, honesty, sincerity in virtually everything we do. And if we wish Nigerian well, then regardless the amount of money given to you, it's not enough to betray a country called Nigeria.
But some people say that what has the country done for them?
Regardless, I will still say
Yeah, regardless, indeed,
even
indeed.
if Nigeria has not done anything for you. But the good thing you should see is that Nigerian is still, the government still has better thought and wishes for you in future. So it is not because you didn't get it well today. You know, one thing, let me use an illustration. You see, when you give her to a child, the child learns to what? Crawl. And then from crawling, he learned how to what? Walk. Then walk to run. So you don't just wake up as a child, okay, because you expected the government to do this for you and the government is not doing it, then to hell. No, it shouldn't be so. There should be some level of trust. Still believe in government. One day, all of us have different stories to tell. So one day, it will be better for all of us. So because I didn't get it today, that does not mean I should lose hope.
Exactly.
And you see, if you look at even the narratives today, if you look at some people, yesterday they were not better off, but today they are better off.
Indeed.
So always have that faith.
Don't have people who give us that faith. It seems who is giving us that faith.
But government have been giving you the assurance. What is the assurance? Because a lot of people, the security agents have laid their life to give you this hope.
Beautiful.
They have laid their life to give you this hope. Because if you travel around the nook and corner of this country, virtually all the road, you see our security agents on the road. No rain, no sun,
That will take
they are there.
And define
what do you
all the
think they're
elements.
What do you think they are doing?
They are working for their money.
No, they are staking their
They are
lives.
taking their life.
They are staking their
Okay.
life for the unity of this
Of
country,
this country.
that all of us are benefiting today.
Okay.
You see, if
Beautiful.
there's no peace, there's no security. I can bet you, we can't even sit here and be discussing what we're discussing today.
Beautiful. You know, I'm saying this because I know the feelings of some Nigerians. What they will tell you that they are working, this is and that.
No, it's a
And
wrong-
some,
it's a wrong
some will say
narrative.
that the big shots in the security service are even eating the money, and it's not so nothing is happening.
Most of it is in the realm of speculation. And you know, honestly, Nigerians now have every reason to have bigger hope, like Dr. tried to explain, you know, to be more optimistic as to the future. Talking about the military in particular, luckily for us, we have in the person of the Chief of Defense Staff someone who Nigerians can rely upon. You know, I see in him an integration of two former chiefs of army staff, as well as General Colin Powell of the United States, a diplomat soldier, you know, a soldier's soldier. So that is a man that has been marshalling the the entire defense sector very effectively, very selflessly, and I think we really need to galvanize support for not just him, but the entirety of the security sector, the Chief of Army Staff, the police IG, all of them in the security and intelligence sector.
Okay.
You know, we need to rally around them, give them all the support that they need.
Exactly. Talking about support, I know they are giving me signal to, but let me find out how best can we support them, really?
Okay. The best we can support is to encourage them. And one is on the other part of government. I think government should upscale the budget.
Budgetary. In fact, that cannot be
entire
over.
security architecture in this country.
Indeed.
That is just the only way out. And also, not just upscaling, there should also be accountability and transparency. Because it's not enough for government to give out what you want, but you should also be accountable with what you get to us. This is what we're able to do. You see, it's not the question of being Oliver Twist. By next time when you are asking, because people can see what you have achieved. Okay, just a few days ago, I saw the Nigerian Army Transport and Supply trying to convert most of their distance to CNG. So you can see these are phases of encouragement
Very
that
transparent.
we also encourage them. So you can see transparency in everything.
All right. Yeah, fine. Yeah, from your end, how do we support them? 3 words.
Yeah, we support them. The media, honestly, we have a bigger role to play.
Okay.
You know, we really need to galvanize support for the entirety of the security sector because it's in our interest to do so.
Thank you so much. In fact, I will plead with two of you. We need to continue this discourse because we can't just end it there because our time is actually very short, and we'll be looking for how to improve on the timing also. But I must thank you so much for coming after taking your time waiting. But it's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
My pleasure.
Thank you
Once
so
again,
much.
thank you for
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, viewers, we'll have to leave for other programs to continue, sadly. But like we said, we'll bring you that information. I'm sure you have learned a lot from these two knowledgeable personalities. Join us again next week when we'll bring you another wonderful episode of this program. Until next week, bye for now.